Hello, and welcome to a list of my personal least favourite hit songs of 2023. Now, those of you who watched my worst list for last year might recall that I said that we were in the middle of a major transition period for popular music. Well, 2023 was the same, but to an even bigger degree. I know people have used the phrase, the year that music stopped mattering before, and I've always felt that was very melodramatic, but 2023 really felt like it was the case because I cannot recall any other year that was so lacking in big eventful singles. It was very clear that the music industry doesn't know what the fuck is going to be the next big trend, and they've even admitted as such. In fact, the entire entertainment industry as a whole took a big fat L in 2023, not just music. Friendly Space Ninja did an entire video about how Hollywood blockbusters basically imploded harder than that Titanic submarine in terms of the box office this year. And by the way, I highly recommend checking out his video, it's a really good one. Now, rule of logic says that next year we'll see a big improvement, right? Because usually transition periods in musical trends don't usually last more than 2 years, right? After all, things did start picking up a little bit in the last couple of months. We'll just have to see what happens, eh? As a result, there wasn't much I really cared about in terms of either good songs or bad songs. So yeah, don't expect this worst list to be an all-time classic episode on this channel. I found most of the bad stuff from 2023 to be merely on the bad side of mid for me. And those are always the hardest worst lists to make because I don't care enough to get angry or even make good quality roasts on these songs. Now, for the record, in case you're thinking that I'm whining for nothing, I actually do like making worst lists, but for 2023 this video was very much made for posterity's sake. Although I did honestly try my best to keep it as entertaining as I could, given the material I had to work with. I'm not one to half-ass a video out of pure obligation. Anyway, I've done enough waffling for now. Criteria, as always, is anything that debuted on Billboard's year-end list for 2023, or anything that cracked the top 10 anywhere in the world that year. And just as a program note, I'm going to follow Todd's lead in using Talk of the Charts' extended year-end list because of those bloody Christmas songs. Seriously, Billboard needs to do something about them because it's truly getting ridiculous now. Now let's finally get on with the show.
I've been selling my soul, working all day.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Really, Kylie? This is awfully low for this song. Look, when I first heard this song, I thought it was going to be a top 3 lock for this list as well. However, I'm kinda softened towards it for one very specific reason, and that's Todd's pop song review of the song. He actually went out of his way to explain this guy's background and the controversy surrounding this song, which I'll get to in a minute, I promise you. But spoiler alert, at the end of the episode, when the singer claimed that he wasn't a Republican at all and the song was taking aim at just corrupt politicians in general, Todd comes to the conclusion that he was genuine when he said that, and he's just a very politically illiterate moron from a small town infamous for very messed up politics. So yeah, that's kind of what convinced me to soften up on this song. But not enough to keep it off this list entirely, because in the very same song where he claims to take aim at those Republican assholes in DC who are making the country worse, he out of nowhere takes some shots at people on benefits. Now, Americans groaned at this because over there is a very Reaganist throwback, but I live in the UK where the whole media fascination over so-called benefit culture has been a hot button topic for at least a decade now, and as someone who relies on disability benefits as I am too mentally ill to work full time, I find it deeply offensive that people assume all people on benefits are just lazy bums looking for an easy paycheck. Especially with the cost of living crisis where it's gotten to the point where full-time nurses need to claim benefits just to get by. Ugh, but I digress. So in summary, this is a basic ass protest song by someone who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about and was initially astroturfed by the MAGA cult, then dropped like a stone once they realised that he wasn't one of them. And we all lived unhappily ever after, the end. I don't know, maybe I'm giving this guy too much benefit of the doubt and I'll come to regret putting this so low on the list in the future. But as of making this video, that's where I stand on the matter.
Taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds.
Bruh, have you actually gone to the supermarket and seen the price of healthy food? Let me buy my £1 bag of oven fries in peace.
I'm on the stage right now, singing your favorite song.
Okay, what the hell is this crap? This is probably the song on the list whose success I am most baffled by because... why? I mean, it's a nursery rhyme level tune sung by a guy doing bad karaoke slathered with such bad autotune it sounds like he's gargling at times. It's like Future from Wish. You know, if I wanted my significant other to sing me my favourite song, they had better sing a lot better than this, otherwise they get shown the door. Now, I'd imagine that some people would find this dude's amateur singing voice to be somewhat charming. After all, I'm not exactly someone who requires all singers to be opera-level maestros, but to me this is just sloppy and lame. Also, while I'm very much aware that this song became popular before the Barbie movie came out, this song pretty much aged like milk in record time because if anything in that movie taught you anything, is that us ladies don't like it when you guys try to sing at us. I mean, well, at least this guy didn't try to sing about how I wanna take you for where. I don't really have much else to say about this song, so it's going to be a short segment. I mean, its shittiness pretty much speaks for itself.
When it's burning low, only miss the sun when it starts to snow.
Yeah, it's probably way overdue that I put a Central C song on one of my worst lists. I very easily could have put Commitment Issues and or Doja in my recent worst list, but the former was just in one year out the other for me, and the latter was more funny bad. So on that basis, I gave them both a pass. But he's definitely not getting a pass this time. He's already had 2 strikes and now it's finally time to put him on the naughty bench. Although I do want to make clear that I genuinely think this song is much worse than the other 2. Now, I know that what I'm about to say is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I actually kind of like the original Let It Go. Yeah, I know. I mean, yes, the lyrics are kind of stupid, but I like the tune and the guy's voice, okay? So imagine my horror when I come across this doofus heavily interpolating the chorus for a Fuck Them Hoes track. I know I shouldn't get all worked up about this next bit because I'm aware that a lot of rap music is supposed to be hyperbolic bragging, but I just really hate how he said that the pussy is his in the chorus. I mean, it's 2023. There's no need for this kind of possessiveness anymore. That's some real you're having my baby shit here, but a lot more crude. What, do you just keep this girl's pussy in a box like in Hot Shots where Charlie Sheen's character kept his father's eyeballs? On top of all that, it seems to me that 2023 was the year that women collectively everywhere just got sick of mediocre men. And if any hit song from this year screams mediocre man, it was definitely this one.
Oh, but instead I only wish you the best.
Now, I just want to make clear before we get started on this segment that as much as I dislike his music, and obviously judging by this list, this song is no different, I do feel a little bit bad for picking on him as, despite 2023 being a pretty commercially successful year for him, he unfortunately had to cut his tour short due to his Tourette's affecting him to the point where he physically found it impossible to perform anymore. In all seriousness, I do hope he gets better soon. So, anything bad I'm about to say has no reflection on him as a person, it's purely to do with the song. Now with that out of the way, yeah, this shit is basically a rehash of Someone You Loved, isn't it? Granted, it's nowhere near as painful to listen to, but it's no less insufferable for me. I don't have any other comments on the song other than that, so if you'll indulge me to digress a little bit, I'd like to slag off the music video for a second because holy shit, this is one of the most cloying and emotionally manipulative music videos I've ever seen. Oh, look at the little doggy and oh no, it dies in the end. It's like an extended John Lewis Christmas advert. It makes me want to puke, it's so saccharine. And this is coming from me of all people, who is such a big softie I will legit get weepy watching otters cuddle. This music video, on the other hand, makes me roll my eyes so hard they almost fall out of their sockets.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember it.
Now, saying that country music had a great 2023 on Billboard is a massive understatement. I've already said that we're in the middle of a transition period for pop music, so I highly suspect that country came along to fill the void on the charts, especially as Nashville has finally embraced streaming, so that's why it feels like half the year-end list is country music. And don't get me wrong, I do dislike this song, otherwise it wouldn't be on the list obviously, but one of the funniest things for me observing the charts this year was seeing all the pop fans go absolutely berserk over this song's ridiculous success. I mean, it was #1 on Billboard for months on end and is the biggest hit of the year in the States. I was bemused by its success too, but the reason why I found the reaction so funny is because I have been saying for years now that pop stans are just as much in a bubble and as ignorant of other genres of music as the rock purists. But because poptimism is the dominant musical discourse right now, no one is willing to admit it, but I digress. The reason why I was personally bemused by the song's success has nothing to do with its genre or how problematic the singer is. No, it's because this song is absolutely miserable to listen to. It's a 2-minute, 45-second sour whinge fest about some guy having breakup sex, and I cannot believe that so many people were clamoring to listen to it on streaming or the radio, what have you. No wonder us Brits like to mock American tastes in music. Now, many people have said that this is basically a country Maroon 5 song, but I personally think that's only partly true. To me, this song is the unholy love child of a Maroon 5 song and a Stained song. It's got the douchey, secretly bragging about getting laid lyrics and the dour, crypto country butt rock instrumental. Now, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys, in most other years this would probably only be a dishonorable mention because it's not a level of bad that irritates me. But as I said before, 2023 didn't exactly leave a lot for me to work with, now did it? Hey, it's been a while since I put a Taylor Griff song on a worst list of mine. The last few years she's gotten away with being aggressively mid, but it's nice to know that she's still capable of tuning out some real shit every now and again. I mean, do I even have to say it? This chorus is just straight up cringe. Sounds like it was ripped from some teenage girl's Tumblr blog from 2015. This is straight up Melanie Martinez levels of cringe. And what makes this worse is that I've heard this kind of songwriting done so much better and so much more compelling. Yeah, I'd probably lawyer her up if I were you, Taylor. And this song is actually a remix where they haphazardly shoehorned Ice Spice of all goddamn people on this song. I mean, she's a laid-back drill rapper who twerks every 5 seconds, and she doesn't fit the song in the slightest. I can only guess that it was a sad attempt by the label at seeming hip and cool, which is completely unnecessary considering that 2023 was one of Taylor's biggest years ever. Now I'm done talking about this song because I don't really have much else to say about it. I mean, its shittiness pretty much speaks for itself. Can I just go on an extensive rant about how I do not get the massive hype that she's gotten over the past year because, oh my god, I swear I am going insane. Granted, I'm very biased because I was one of her OG haters, but Jesus fucking Christ, I felt like I was losing my goddamn mind when seemingly everyone on this planet was rushing to toss her salad due to her mid-at-best music. Seriously, I find it very appropriate that the title of her most recent album starts with the word mid. And whenever I expressed my annoyance, everyone looked at me like I had just descended from the planet Zog. I honest to God feel like I'm in the movie They Live and I'm the only one who can see the skeleton creature behind that highly Botox face of hers. Well, let me tell you something. I have come here to chew bubblegum and destroy your senpais, and I'm all out of bubblegum. I swear, I'm not even kidding you with this, but in the past year, I've even seen people say that Shake It Off is actually a good song. You know, this piece of crap.
You could have been getting down to this sick beat.
I do not know what's been put in the water lately, but clearly this is an indication that y'all are getting brainwashed by hype. And I swear to motherfucking God, if that half-assed Insomnia Rambling wins Album of the Year at the Grammys, it will be my 13th reason. Yeah, sadly the super lazy sample trend carried on well into 2023. I highly suspect that the music industry is pushing out these nostalgia bait pieces of crap as a cheap way of raking in any sort of income because, as I've mentioned in the intro, they don't know what the fuck is going to be the next big thing right now. Anyway, if it wasn't incredibly obvious to you in the clip that I just played, this song heavily samples the song Children by Robert Miles, which is a song that may or may not feature in a video of mine that's coming very soon. Stay tuned on that one. But anyway, I really do not appreciate these bozos turning what is supposed to be a melancholic trance instrumental into a generic club banger about hooking up with someone. It's like taking, I don't know, what's a random sad song I can use for this example? Let's say, for example, Yesterday by the Beatles and making a crunk banger out of it. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away, because I'm now getting turned down for what? But I will grant the song this. At least it's only the second worst song to sample Children that I've ever heard. Yeah, remember this one?
When you're tasting what he's drinking, are you thinking about me? When you're riding where he's driving.
Now, I personally like to think of this song as somewhat of a sequel to Last Night, which I've talked about earlier in this list. First he had the breakup sex, and now he's getting all pissy because his ex-girl has a new man. And for the record, I find this easily far more distasteful and sour than Last Night because I just do not get the whole "I hope you're still thinking of me when you're with your new partner" sentiment. Because 99% of the time, no, they couldn't give less of a flying pigeon poop about you. I know the word narcissist is very trendy to use nowadays, but yeah, this song is borderline narcissistic. This is what I imagine Illuminati is playing in the background when she's harassing her former co-workers with sock puppet accounts. Also, it comes across a lot like projection, because he's basically telling on himself that he's so not over it in the slightest, given how he's constantly wondering if she's thinking about him. And if I'm not over it, clearly she shouldn't be either. It's such ridiculous logic, and again, borderline narcissistic. Now, I understand that this song isn't necessarily trying to be likeable and sympathetic. I mean, I've talked about again that it's not a prerequisite for liking a song, but you do need a certain level of charisma to be able to pull off a song like this. But to me, it comes across as a whiny, bitter sulk fest which just instantly puts me in a bad mood. I am not one to hate watch or hate listen various media, but sometimes every person who makes these lists on YouTube will have that one song that they hope is a big enough hit so they can absolutely annihilate it in their worst lists. And in 2023, this song was that for me. Mind you, it only barely qualified for my list. Thanks Germany for doing me a solid here. Now you may recall that last year I took a great big steaming dump on that I'm Good song, and sure enough, after getting a taste of chart relevance again, David Guetta got the bright idea of rehashing that lame-ass formula to ruin another one of my 90s childhood bops. If you've watched my previous Best of 1993 video, you'll know that I love What Is Love. And what he did to this song is just an absolute tragedy for me. Remember that bouncy synth bass that pretty much made the song? Well, it was completely stripped out and reduced to sounding like completely hollow EDM radio filler. And just to drive in the point a little bit further of how much of a desperate nostalgia bait cash grab this song is, the music video has everyone do the Night at the Roxbury meme dance throughout the damn thing. And I could just feel a part of my soul die inside watching this shit. I don't know what else to say other than I just hope that this trend swiftly dies soon and that people would stop ruining my treasured childhood memories for a cheap buck. Oh, for fuck's sake! God damn it, this list is absolutely exhausting, but thankfully we're near the end, so before we get to our number one pick, let's go through our dishonorable mentions.
I know I'm a pit bull, but darling, mommy.
I think it's extremely telling just how boring the song is when by far the best part of it is a hilariously bad Pitbull reference.
Long live cowgirls, never gonna settle on down, girls.
This song very easily would have made the list proper if it wasn't for my rule regarding having no more than 2 songs per artist in the list proper.
Begging on the knees to be popular. That's a dream to be popular.
Hey, remember how funny it was when the Idol flopped and everyone and their dog dunked on it? Ah, that was one of my favourite things to happen this year. What the actual
Everything is pointless without you.
More like this song is pointless.
Whipped and changed you like American slave.
Bruh, you do realise that you're Canadian, right? And there you have it. You don't even get a lot of dishonourable mentions in this mid as fuck year. If it does make you feel better, here's a quick short list of shitty songs that 100% would have made the list if they qualified. Okay, now let's do the recap leading into the number one like I always do and get this shit over with.
Small town, see how far you.
Oh my god, what a surprise! Yeah, some years there's one single easy target for number one worst hit song of the year that pretty much everyone who makes these lists gather around a dogpile on. And this dumpster fire of a song is an easy target for a very good reason. Now, even though I studied 20th century American history as part of my GCSEs, of which a big part included segregation and the civil rights movement, obviously me being a dumbass from bumfuck nowhere Wales, there are a lot of things about race relations in the US that I was not aware of until very recently. For example, this song's popularity brought to my attention the concept of the sundown town.
Good girl in a straw hat with her arms out in a cornfield. That is a scarecrow.
It's basically an old-timey term for a super white redneck town where a black person wouldn't dare set foot into after sunset for fear of getting lynched. And people listened to the song and basically said, wait, this small town he's singing about in this song sounds an awful lot like a sundown town. And that, for my non-American friends watching this, is a big reason why a lot of people kicked up a giant shitstorm over the song. The implication in this song is that you'd better not stir up some trouble in a small town, otherwise we might gang up on you and end you. Also, another huge reason why it kicked up a big shitstorm is because the music video has footage of BLM protests being projected over a courthouse renowned for lynching. Yeah, the implications are far from subtle here. He tried to pussy his way out of it by saying, "Oh dear, we weren't trying to make a political statement." Bull fucking shit. I'm not stupid, so miss me with that piss poor excuse. Even taking away the controversy from the song, it's basically a dour butt rock song with a country twang about how cities are all crime ridden and unfriendly. Not like the small towns. Sung by a guy who hails from one of the biggest cities in the south and lives in a McMansion. And his only experience of a small town life was likely stopping for gas for a few minutes at one time. Speaking as someone who grew up in a small town and has also lived in cities in the past, it's grade A bull honk E. I'd highly recommend watching the What Makes This Song Stink episode on this song, as it goes into more detail than I ever would about how lazily written the instrumental is. At least the Fudge Round song had a decent tune. Yeah, I said it! Now, I've mentioned before that I do not like having to get up on my soapbox and go on miserable political rants unless I have no choice, because I want my videos to be fun, and whenever certain music YouTubers do this kind of virtue signaling, it gets really tedious for me really fast, and it just makes them sound like they have a massive stick up their arse. If I express a political opinion on my video, it's usually because I just want to express an opinion that will help people understand where I'm coming from in terms of my views on a song. But in an increasingly hostile environment where alt-right pandering has infiltrated pretty much every form of media nowadays, I am just left with no choice but to use what little precious energy I have left taking the bait and calling it out, because I just cannot let this shit fly unchecked. And I am just, in general, just so beyond sick of this grifter hate bait bullshit that's made the world such a festering hellhole that I have legit considered not being alive anymore. I just want to live my life in peace without these clowns using people like me and my friends as a political punching bag, for fuck's sake. I really apologise for this video ending on such a dour and angry note because, again, I prefer my videos to be fun and entertaining. But this song is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of things that I just despise about modern society. So as a result, there's a lot of nasty shit I need to get off my chest right now. So yeah, worst hit song of the year, and I sincerely hope this dude gets hemorrhoids the size of bowling balls. And that's it. That's the worst hit songs of 2023 all done. Oh, I'm so glad I've gotten that out of the way. So, stay tuned for the best hit songs of 2023 video. I promise it's gonna be a much more happy video. So stay tuned for that one. And until next time, I'll see you around.